This is episode 11 of Shark Lore. How the episodes will go is I'll discuss each species within a family per episode. I'll provide maximum length, how deep they can swim, their diet, mode of reproduction, and any other additional facts worth talking about. So this episode we're looking at the Carcharhiniformes Part 3, the Requiem sharks, or the ground sharks. They are very well-known sharks with not many characteristics. All you really need to know is that many of them give live birth and generally live near coral reefs, such as the tiger shark, Galapagos cuvier. They are fearsome sharks with stripes like a tiger, a distinct hexagon-shaped head, and a length of up to 16.5 feet long. They have the widest appetite of any shark. Sea turtles, bony fish, crustaceans, mollusks, seals, sea snakes, dolphins, no problemo. Even garbage and metal scraps can make a great meal for them. They have the second highest human fatality rate, but it is still rare since they would rather eat garbage than humans. They can also throw up their stomach to get rid of unwanted parts such as plastic, and their teeth is what helps them eat through tough things, because on the tips of them they are sideways with sharp serrated edges. For reproduction, the eggs hatch internally with about 10 to 80 pups within 16 months, so they are ovoviviparous, which is unique for Requiem sharks, and they are still prey to orcas by being flipped over through tonic immobility, so that means they could possibly drown from paralysis. The gray reef shark, or Carcharhinus amblyrhynchus, a basic agile shark that grows to around 6.2 feet but grows up to 8.5 feet. They are one of the most common sharks as they thrive in shallow reefs around 200 feet and can dive down to 3,300 feet. Their aggressive behavior makes them dominant in reefs, feeding on bony fish and cephalopods, and they use a territorial hunch display by bending their chests down, stiffening their pectoral fins, and swaying their body back and forth. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 1 to 6 pups per litter. The Caribbean reef shark, or Carcharhinus parisi, is a large apex predator in the reef as they grow up to 9.8 feet. Their diet consists of several fish and cephalopods to help ensure that those animals do not overpopulate. They are commonly found in shallow depths of around 98 feet, but can go down to 1,240 feet if they are feeling adventurous. They've been observed resting on the bottom or near caves like many other ground sharks, but they are unusual as they are a lot more active than the typical shark. They also show a threat display by making fast, sharp turns and dropping their pectoral fins. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 4 to 6 pups per litter. I'm going to list off all of the sharp noses. So the Brazilian sharpnose, or Rhizoprionodon lalandi, the Pacific sharpnose, or Rhizoprionodon longerio, the gray sharpnose, or Rhizoprionodon oligolinx, the Caribbean sharpnose, or Rhizoprionodon porosus, the Australian sharpnose, or Rhizoprionodon taylori, and the Atlantic sharpnose, or Rhizoprionodon terraniva. All of these sharks are found in the muddy area, scooping up different types of crustaceans, cephalopods, and bony fish. They live near the coast and are popular for commercial fishing as they are often their flesh is consumed instead of their fins, and they get to no bigger than 4.2 feet, with most only getting to around 2 feet. They dive no deeper than 1,500 feet. They all have viviparous reproduction with a placental sac, and the only thing really differentiating them is their location and slight changes in their overall shape. The spade nose, or Scoliodon laticatus, is known for having a flat triangular snout and often forms schools in shallow water. They usually don't swim deeper than 43 feet as they dwell near rocky bottoms to feed on bony fish, shrimp, and crabs. They only grow to around 2.4 feet in length, but they do have something special. Their reproduction is the most advanced out of any fish, as they have a fully formed placental stalk formed from the yolk sac. This makes them placental viviparous like us humans, having up to 18 pups born with the luxury of a trophonimatal cup, which helps exchange nutrients from the mother's bloodstream to the placenta. The Pacific spade nose, or Sculeodon macrinus, is conspecific with the spade nose. It is probably not even a new species, as the only thing researched about it is a flavivirus infecting them and not even the shark species itself. How disappointing. The big nose, or Carcharhiniformes altimus, despite its name, the nose itself really isn't that big, but the nasal flaps are. They swim to around 300 feet and up down to 1,410 feet, deeper during the daytime, growing up to 9.2 feet in length. They feed towards the bottom of bony and cartilaginous fish and cephalopods, and for reproduction they are viviparous with 3 to 15 pups per litter, and other than that, their name is pretty lame since a saw shark has a way bigger nose anyways. The hard-nosed shark, or Carcharhiniformes maclodi, gets their name from the cartilage being calcified in the snout area. They grow up to 3.6 feet in length, feeding on bony fish, cephalopods, and crustaceans, and live near the shore by not swimming very far from their home, and don't swim any deeper than 560 feet. For reproduction, they are viviparous with only 1 to 2 pups per litter. The dagger nose, or Ischomophdon oxyrhynchus, I butchered that. It's an interesting species that spends time in mangroves, estuaries, muddy waters, and briefly freshwater rivers, so it can't travel through the stream, but it can hang around the border of rivers. Feeding on schools of bony fish, they grow up to 4.9 feet in length and will unfortunately probably be going extinct soon, as there are only about 200 specimens left. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 2 to 8 pups per litter and prefer to give birth at a season when it frequently rains. They live at depths between 13 to 131 feet and prefer the murkiest water possible, to the point that they will literally swim inside of mud. It has a distinct appearance with a crescent-shaped tail and having its long nose block their tiny eyes due to it staying in muddy water for so long, so they don't really have the need to see. The silky shark, or Carcharhiniformes falciformis, these metallic bronze creatures grow up to 8.2 feet in length and dive down to 1,600 feet in the open ocean. They are one of the most abundant sharks in the pelagic zone and must swiftly feed on any open ocean bony fish, cephalopod, and even crabs because food can be very scarce in the open ocean. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 1 to 16 pups and have also been observed in an active underwater volcano, which is what the picture on the right is depicting. The milk shark, or Rhizopriodon acutus, is a more well-known sharpnose because of its wide distribution, and there is a belief in India that eating their flesh will make you produce milk, even though they can't. They are a bigger kind, with the largest one being 5.8 feet in length and swimming down to 660 feet. They are viviparous with an aplacental sac, having between 1 to 8 pups per litter, and have the same diet of any sharpnose with bony fish, crustaceans, and cephalopods. They also eat a fish called Wagyu sea perch, and no other shark species eats them because they are found inside of seagrass. And instead of having spiracles, they have 15 large pores that do pretty much the same thing that spiracles does, which is a backup for breathing. The white nose, or Nasolamia velox, gets their name from having a small black spot on the tip of its snout outlined in white. They live in depths between 50 to 650 feet, growing up to 5 feet, and are viviparous with 5 pups, and they likely eat bony fish and crustaceans. The Oceanic whitetip, or Carcharhiniformes longimanus, is an opportunistic predator that's always hungry in the empty open ocean. They are often feared when shipwrecks occur, as they've been observed following ships, waiting for any scraps that fall off. It's possible they've killed the most humans out of any shark, but the numbers are difficult to record. My guess is that they are the most dangerous in terms of numbers, but behave like vultures of the sea, waiting for the elements to do the dirty work before eating them when they're already dead. They grow up to 12 feet in length and swim down to 490 feet. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 1 to 15 pups, and to give an idea on how hungry they are, Things like bony fish, cephalopods, sea turtles, birds, crustaceans are all rare to come across in the open ocean, so most of the time they follow pilot whales to eat their poop. They also wait for cetaceans to kill their prey for them and steal some of their prize, again like a vulture would. The white-tip reef shark, or Trainodon obesus, they never really show any threat displays, as I had observed one resting on the bottom of the ocean during the daytime on my trip to Hawaii. They grow up to 5.2 feet in length and swim down to 1,080 feet, and at night is when they are active, hunting bony fish, crustaceans, and octopus. For reproduction, they are viviparous, with up to 5 males competing for one female during mating. The female will even prevent a male from breathing by essentially choking them if she feels the male is the wrong choice, unless they're into that. The white cheek, or Carcharhiniformes dulcimeri, grows up to 3.3 feet in length and swims down to 560 feet, with diet consisting of bony fish, mollusks, crabs, and sometimes worms. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 1 to 4 pups per litter. The black spot, or Carcharhiniformes sealy, looks nearly identical to the white cheek, with some differences, such as growing up to 3.1 feet, swimming down to 130 feet, diet consisting of bony fish, crustaceans, and squid, and has viviparous reproduction with 1 to 2 pups at a time. The Australian black spot, or Carcharhiniformes coatsii, found off of New Guinea. What makes the fin coloration different from the black spot is that the black spot has a black fin and the Australian is pale brown. They grow up to 2.9 feet in length and swim down to 403 feet. Diet consists of bony fish, cephalopods, and crustaceans, and has viviparous reproduction with 1 to 3 pups per litter. The nervous shark, or Carcharhiniformes caudus, grows up to 4.9 feet in length and swims down to 148 feet in mangroves and sandy bottoms. Diet consists of bony fish, crustaceans, mollusks, and even semi-aquatic mangrove snakes. For reproduction, they are viviparous, with mangroves being a good nursery to stay away from larger predators in the deep. So I guess the deep end makes them a little nervous. The Borneo, or Carcharhiniformes borneensis, is extremely rare to encounter, only growing to 1.1 feet, and has pores on the corner of their mouth. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 6 pups per litter, and live near the shore with the likelihood of eating bony fish for its diet. The broadfin, or Lamopsis temnici, grows up to 5.7 feet and are found in shallow coastal waters, with diet consisting of crustaceans, teleost fish, cephalopods, and has viviparous reproduction, as evidenced by an umbilical scar seen after birth. And the Borneo broadfin, or Lamopsis tephrodes, grows up to 4.2 feet in length, with nothing else being known about it. The lemon shark, or Nagiprion breviostris, they are currently the most researched shark because their social nature makes them easy to approach. Their camouflage to bright sand has given them a yellow tint to that of a lemon. They grow up to 11 feet and are very social with their species. Reproduction has placental viviparity, with the female giving a yolk-like placenta to the fetuses. It takes nearly 2 years to give birth, with up to 18 pups being born, although they are at number 10 for shark bites, with none of them being fatal. And the sickle fin lemon, or Nagiprion acutidens, is very similar to the lemon shark, except growing up to 12 feet in length and having sickle-shaped fins. And just check out how beautiful that mangrove picture is of them. The sandbar shark, or Carcharhiniformes plumbeus, is closer related to tigers than they are to sand tigers, as in tiger sharks than sand tiger sharks, and have a noticeably large dorsal fin. They have short snouts and grow up to 8.2 feet in length that dwell at shallow sandy areas, occasionally swimming below 600 feet to capture bony fish, crabs, and rays. For reproduction, they are viviparous with a placental yolk sac with around 8 pups, and they are generally harmless for looking intimidating like a sand tiger. The dusky shark, or Carcharhiniformes obscurus. These coastal fellas are big for a Requiem shark, up to 14 feet in length, and don't swim any deeper than 1,300 feet. They feed on several things like bony fish, small sharks, rays, crustaceans, sea stars, sea turtles, marine mammals, and of course, garbage. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 3 to 14 pups, with the longest gestation period tied with the spiny dogfish at 2 years. They seem like they would be more well known for their attacks, but their slow maturity rate of 20 years makes them hard to encounter. The Galapagos shark, or Carcharhiniformes galapagensis. These reef enjoyers grow to around 11 to 12 feet and consume bony fishes, marine iguanas, small sharks, sea lions, and garbage. They're usually found in shallow water no deeper than 590 feet, with viviparous reproduction of up to 4 to 16 pups per litter, and it's common for them to have a flatworm parasite, and they can display territorial behavior identical to the gray reef shark. They are one of the most abundant shark species in the Atlantic Ocean, and I saw one during my experience at One Ocean diving. It was cool to see them, but they stayed near the bottom most of the time, so I couldn't get a very good look at them. The graceful/Queensland shark, or Carcharhiniformes amberyncoides. Contrary to its graceful spindle shape, it's actually quite tubby for feasting on bony fishes, such as jacks making up 60% of its diet. They also consume cephalopods and crustaceans. They get to no bigger than 5.6 feet, making it easy for them to get fat, and swim at shallow depths of around 160 feet. For reproduction, they are viviparous with around 9 pups, and other than that, they are fairly rare to encounter. The Pacific smalltail/lost shark, or Carcharhiniformes surdale, is a slim species getting to no bigger than 3.9 feet and spends most of its time in the shallow, muddy estuaries. Their diet consists of bony fishes and small crustaceans, cephalopods, and rays. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 2 to 9 pups per litter, and only 3 specimens have ever been found. They haven't been seen in over 80 years, so there is a possibility that they might be extinct, but we cannot confirm it, hence the lost name. The spot-tail/sora shark, or Carcharhiniformes sora, grows up to 5.2 feet in length and swims down to 236 feet, with diet consisting of sea bass, cephalopods, and crustaceans. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 1 to 8 pups per litter. The fine tooth, or Carcharhiniformes isodon, grows up to 6.2 feet in length and swims down to 66 feet in shallow bays and estuaries. They stay in even shallower water during the summer, but go deeper in the winter where water temperature is more stable. Diet consists of bony fish and shrimp, with 1 case of it eating an Atlantic sharpnose shark, and for reproduction, they are viviparous with 2 to 6 pups per litter. The silvertip shark, or Carcharhiniformes albimarginatus, grows up to 10 feet in length and swims down to 2,625 feet. They look similar to other reef sharks, but are recognized by the bright white creases on the tips of the fins. It's not even silver, however. The diet consists of bony fish, eagle rays, cephalopods, and other sharks that are outclassed by its bulkiness. The bulkiness is what makes them act dominant around their territory, so they are always getting into fights, and can act aggressive towards scuba divers. The threat display is unique, however, by circling around and gaping its jaw to show that it's ready to bite, and then it waves the pectoral fins to show off the white tips, sort of like how a poisonous animal shows off bright colors to show they are dangerous. And for reproduction, they are viviparous with 1 to 11 pups per litter. The blue shark, or Prionens glauca, is slender but a beautifully blue-colored shark that grows up to 12 feet in length and swims down to 1,150 feet. These open ocean sharks feed on cephalopods, crustaceans, whales, porpoise blubber, and bony fish including the long-nosed lancetfish. Larger sharks like great whites, tigers, and even orcas, however, do feed on this species. For reproduction, they are viviparous with a crazy range of anywhere between 4 to 135 pups. And it's also found out that females have skin 3 times thicker than males for protection during mating rituals. They get a little freaky. The black-nosed shark, or Carcharhiniformes acronotus, grows up to 6.6 feet and swims down to 210 feet, with diet consisting of bony fish like anchovies and porcupine fish, cephalopods, and crustaceans, with viviparous reproduction of 1 to 6 pups, and they usually lay on the coastal bays between mangrove swamps. The black tip shark, or Carcharhiniformes limbatus, grows up to 9.2 feet, swims down to 210 feet, preferring the muddy bays and island lagoons near coral reefs and estuaries, and diet consists of bony fish, cartilaginous fish, cephalopods, and crustaceans, with this species chasing schools of fish so fast that they will leap out of the water and spin 3 to 4 times before landing. They are also shy by keeping their distance away from divers, and often being outcompeted by more aggressive sharks like the Galapagos shark. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 1 to 10 pups, and one case of automictic parthenogenesis was observed, with meaning that an ovum inside of the polar body was able to form a zygote without a male present. The blacktip reef shark, or Carcharhiniformes melanopterus, grows up to 5.9 feet and swims down to 246 feet. They are usually found in shallow water in the sand flats. This robust species feeds on bony fish, cephalopods, crustaceans, and even sea snakes. Since they thrive in reefs, they have the smallest home range of any shark species, only around 0.21 square miles, when most sharks go thousands of miles away from home. For reproduction, they are viviparous, with individuals being followed as a sign for potential mating. The smooth-toothed blacktip, or Carcharhiniformes leodon, grows up to 4.3 feet in length, with depth being unknown as they're found in the Persian Gulf with abundant fresh water entering in, so the habitat is relatively unknown. Diet consists of bony fish, including marine catfish, and is likely viviparous in reproduction. The Australian blacktip, or Carcharhiniformes tilstoni, grows up to 6.6 feet in length and swims down to 490 feet, with diet consisting of teleost fish, smaller sharks, and cephalopods, with reproduction being viviparous with 1 to 6 pups, and has reported hybridizing with a common blacktip, which is the only confirmed hybrid among cartilaginous fish ever. The bronze whaler / copper shark, or Carcharhiniformes brachyurus, grows up to 11 feet in length and swims down to 330 feet around the surf zone. Diet consists of cephalopods, bony fish, cartilaginous fish, and crustaceans, with reproduction being viviparous of around 7 to 24 pups per litter. The Indonesian whaler, or Carcharhiniformes chujit, found near the western Pacific, grows up to 3.3 feet in length and swims down to 558 feet, with viviparous reproduction of around 2 to 4 pups and an unknown diet. The creek whaler, or Carcharhiniformes fitzirensis, grows up to 4.3 feet in length and swims down to 130 feet near estuaries, with diet consisting of teleost fish, crustaceans, and cephalopods, with parasites like tapeworms and nematodes. For reproduction, they are viviparous, with females able to store sperm until July and September to produce 1 to 7 pups per litter. The human's whaler, or Carcharhiniformes humani, grows up to 2.7 feet in length and swims down to 141 feet, with diet and reproduction unknown. The night shark, or Carcharhiniformes signatus, grows up to 6.6 feet in length and swims down to 1,970 feet, with diet consisting of bony fish, shrimp, and squid, with hunting being most active at dawn and dusk, and not at night for some reason. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 4 to 18 pups per litter. The slit-eye shark, or Loxodon macrinus, grows up to 3.1 feet in length, and swims down to 330 feet, with diet consisting of bony fish, shrimp, and cuttlefish, with viviparous reproduction of around 2 to 4 pups per litter. The spinner shark, or Carcharhiniformes brevipina, grows up to 9.8 feet in length and swims down to 330 feet, preferring shallower water. They hunt in schools and literally spin out of the water to catch bony fish, cephalopods, and stingrays. Probably the coolest thing you will ever see sharks do from above the water. They don't attack large items such as humans, but can be careless and clumsy when their prey is near. So be cautious when in the water near them, as they might accidentally spin onto your boat. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 3 to 20 pups per litter. The pig-eye/Java shark, or Carcharhiniformes ambinensis. This robust species grows up to 9.2 feet in length and swims down to 490 feet in murky estuaries. It's often confused with the bull shark for its build, but this species avoids the brackish water. Diet consists of bony fish, gastropods, dolphins, sea snakes, and cartilaginous fish, with viviparous reproduction of around 3 to 7 pups per litter, and their meat can be poisonous from a deal known as ciguatera, which is poison found in dinoflagellates that infect reef fish and then will spread to predators that eat them. There was a report in November of 1993 where 500 people in Madagascar were poisoned, with 98 fatalities for eating the shark's meat. The first mass ciguatera case had been caused by that shark, which is again to emphasize why shark meat is not safe to eat. The Pondicherry shark, or Carcharhiniformes hemiodon. This rare and critically endangered species grows up to 3.3 feet in length and swims down to 492 feet, and it is still unclear, but they may occasionally inhabit freshwater, with reproduction likely being viviparous and a diet probably being generic with bony fish, cephalopods, and crustaceans. Now we are on a very well-known shark, the bull shark, Carcharhiniformes lucus. This aggressive species grows up to 13 feet in length and swims down to 490 feet, preferring shallow estuaries. They are known to transition to freshwater by surviving up to 4 years in freshwater, allowing them to travel thousands of miles into rivers such as the Mississippi. How they accomplish this has to do with the lack of urea in their blood. Freshwater influxes much more through the gills, but the bull shark has strong organs to regulate the salt, such as tightening the rectal gland to not release excess salt, and has to pee 20 times more in freshwater than in saltwater. They use a bump and bite technique to sneak up on prey in murky water, so they hunt blindly on basically anything that runs into them, including other bull sharks, which is why humans are often accidentally attacked by them. They are extremely aggressive, with having the highest testosterone in the entire animal kingdom, making them likely the most dangerous shark species to humans. Oddly enough, this species avoids bright colors and prefers items that blend in with the murky water, so it's actually better to wear something bright when entering murky water. This is because they may only see in black and white, with their retinas only having one cone instead of 3 like us humans, and most attacks on humans were from divers wearing black wetsuits, so the brighter the better. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 1 to 13 pups, and mating has not been observed by them, but it likely gets very intense with that testosterone. Now we are on the Glyphis part of sharks, which are the true river sharks, such as the northern river shark, or Glyphis garricky. This rare species grows up to 8.2 feet in length, with the depth being unclear as they inhabit fresh and brackish water with cloudy visibility. They've adapted stronger ampullae of Lorenzini to hunt for bony fish, and has viviparous reproduction of around roughly 9 pups per litter. The spear-tooth river, or Glyphis, grows up to 8.5 feet and swims down to 25 feet in marine and freshwater tides. They are sluggish in nature, and allows them to sneak up on bony fish and crustaceans while using their spear teeth to hook on tight. For reproduction, they are viviparous with 6 to 7 pups. They are sadly less than 2,500 mature specimens left. The Ganges shark, or Glyphis gangeticus, is an extremely endangered species with only 13 specimens known, and is the only pure freshwater shark. The largest specimen was around 6.7 feet, and depth is likely shallow. The small eyes are from the detriment of the murky water, and diet likely consists of bony fish and freshwater rays. Reproduction is viviparous, with the rate being very slow, meaning that unfortunately will probably go extinct very soon. The Borneo river shark, or Glyphis phalaerae, found in Malaysia and Sabah, is a rare species, only 14 specimens known, that grows up to 2.6 feet in length, with depth being unknown, and diet consists of bony fish and small sharks, with reproduction presumed to be viviparous. And finally, the Muka river shark, or Glyphis sp. Nothing has been described of it yet, other than knowing that it exists. So you'll notice that many of the river sharks are very rare, and there's an unfortunate case that they'll probably go extinct soon due to us humans taking over their habitat. But with that, we conclude episode 11 of Shark Lore, and we will talk about one more part from the Carcharhiniformes after this episode.